How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds, where this morning we are back with the engines from our buddy Holger, aka Charger. So guys, for those of you who don't know, we actually sent the two V8s that we had laying around in the shop in for some repairs, and he managed to sort them both out for us. So now we've got two pretty decent V8 engines, which we are going to be able to use in some of our projects over here, guys. So yeah, this one is probably going to be the one that we use on the Chad over there, Phantom's car. So guys, I've been a little bit busy off camera sorting out a bunch of stuff. You can see there's all sorts of stuff laying all over the place. And yeah, I know we still haven't touched the Lexus IS300 here, guys. We are still going to work on this car as well. Might get to it today, I don't know. It's just gonna be a matter of figuring out what we're gonna do and what we're gonna prioritize here. So yeah, first of all, we've got a couple of body panels for the Chad or Charger as well. So we've got hood, doors, fenders, which are all missing on this car. Now this car's gonna need quite a bit more parts actually before it's gonna look like anything. So yeah, that is pretty much what needs to happen with this car. Is we need to get this sorted, taking care of some of the rust and such, and just inspecting all of the parts that are on these doors, because yeah, they are from the junkyard, so I don't think they're going to be in the greatest shape. So we're going to have to just go through everything and make sure everything looks good. And then the car over here is the one that I mentioned in the last episode. This is the 69 Coronet from our other buddy called Ozzy on the Simpson. Yeah, that's what he calls himself. So guys, this is a donation vehicle. So he gave me this car with one condition, and that is that I need to restore this car to a rat style or a rat build. So it's going to be pretty much, yeah, as you see it here is what the car is going to look like in the end. I'm going to do a couple of things to suspension, make sure the suspension is reliable, and we're also going to fix the engine up properly, or maybe even have Holger fix it up for us. I don't know, we'll decide what we're going to do about it. And then as for the suspension work, as I said, we're going to be sorting that out. There's also a bunch of parts in the trunk of this car, which we will probably send to our buddy Charger Holger as well, to get fixed up and maybe rebuild an engine for us. He also sent me these engines over here, which is part of the whole package that he sent me. So yeah, that is also a upcoming project for our channel, guys, so not too bad. The other project we are currently working on is the 58 Bel Air, and as you can see, we've got a bunch of the trim and chrome and all of those goodies that needs to go onto the car today, because we are going to need our paint booth in order to paint all of those parts. So yeah, I think this is probably what I'm going to start with, is getting all of these parts mounted and sorted out and, you know, put back onto the car. And yeah, we also got another donation, guys. So yeah, we've got the engine over here, which is another 283 cubic inch engine from another Chevy Bel Air, I would reckon. So this was also a donation from Phantom, the very same guy. We are busy working on his Chad over there. So yeah, he said that he's got this engine and he gave it to us for free. So yeah, we're going to definitely see if this is going to work out today, if we can get that into the Bel Air as well. So I'm quite hopeful that by the end of today, this car would at least look a little bit more complete. As you can see, also, I changed my mind about the wheels that we were putting on this thing, guys. So, yeah, these are some brand new rims and tires. And I think they're going to look pretty good once this car is put together. So it's got a nice little touch to the, well, I don't know what to call those things. It's pretty much the bolts. Because this rim is actually a two-piece. I would reckon that you would split. But yeah, we got them already assembled, and that color actually matches the paint job on the car. So I think it's going to look pretty damn snazzy once this thing is done and dusted. So yeah, I think this is what we're going to start with probably. I also just wanted to show you guys these. So these are the wheels that I bought specifically for the Lexus. I think they're going to look pretty good on the car. So we'll see if we get to these today. I've also got some new tires that we still need to mount. So it's it's quite a lot of work we need to take care of today. So yeah, I think let's get cracking. There's a whole lot of stuff to do. I still need to grab the welding machine over here. So let me just pick that up and bring this over. All right, so we need to weld the roof back into place. And then we can start popping all of the trim and stuff on. So this shouldn't take too long. So I guess we'll get started with this. Now I haven't polished anything yet, so I'm contemplating whether I should do it. I might actually do it. We'll see. I'll decide. Because I think the orange peel effect that this paint job has got, it actually matches the era of the car. Because back then they didn't really, manage to get the bodywork always as shiny and, smooth as they would in these modern days. But seeing as we are kind of making this thing leaning towards a resto mod more now, it's going to be maybe something we are going to do. I don't know. So yeah, there we go. The roof is welded back into place. And I think let's start with the glass. This is our windshield. So we will pop this into here. There we go. The first piece of the puzzle is already into place. All right, let's do the rear one. All right, looking good. All right, so this is the rear left one for the car. Yeah, and just like that, this thing is going to start looking like a proper roadworthy vehicle again. It's definitely going to turn some heads once it's done. And yeah, I think the white roof was definitely the right move. So I'm actually not putting all of the trim back on the car that that came off of it. Because I decided that since we are kind of doing the whole resto mod thing, it's going to be a little bit better this way. All right, I'm struggling to pick those up now. We'll see if we can figure it out. All right, this is the passenger side. There we go. All right, that goes in. And this one. All right, looking pretty good. So we are definitely making good progress on this car, guys. I think it's going to look almost complete. We are still waiting for the interior today. I don't know if it's going to come today. We'll see. And yeah, I've got a little bit of a... Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what color interior we are getting. Because I just told the guys that they should send me whatever they've got. Because, finding stuff for this car is a little bit hard. So we're just going to have to take what we can get. Right, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty sleek looking car at the end of the day. All right, let's get this door handle onto here. Yeah, these things all just pop into place, so it's pretty simple. I wonder why I'm struggling to pick this up. It's a little bit finicky. Let me just try and see if I can get these mounted onto the car. Or yeah, let's rather just do these rockers first. Rocker trims. Pop that onto there. I think this is the only trim I'm putting back on the car on the side. And some badges. Alright, pop this one onto there. Alright, I think that's a nice little touch. Okay, let me see if I can figure out these windows real quick, guys. Alright, so there we go. We've got those windows in, and they are looking pretty good, pretty nifty. Alright, so I think we can continue with the rest of the parts here. So we've got our grill back with the blinkers, which I had them changed a little bit to, look normal again. So they are orange again, and these are the headlights. Okay, so this is our left one. And everything just kind of pops into place. Yeah, there's the right-hand side one. Let's just pop that into there. Looking pretty good so far. Okay, now we've got a bunch of small pieces as well. So this goes onto the hood. Just like that. And this is for the fenders. I think these are interchangeable. I can put it on that side or on that side, so it doesn't really matter which one goes where. They are both the same. Okay, let's do this one as well. Yeah, just make sure we get it on there properly. Okay, and this is for the front left. Alright, I can go back onto there. This is the right hand side. It goes onto there, and then the one for the hood is over here. Yep, so this car's got a crap ton of chrome and little itty bitty trim pieces. So there we go, that looks good. We are going to need a wrench for the bumpers, so let's maybe do those last. This is our right hand side taillight. This is our driver's side taillight. Alright, and then we've got the two badges for the fenders, or quarter panels rather. That goes right over there. Okay, so those are the ones we're going to be putting back on the car here. And I've decided we're going to do the trim delete on the sides because I think this is going to be a nice smooth looking car without those. And yeah, it's kind of going to scream resto mod, if you know what I mean. There's our trunk badge. Alright, front bumper, we can probably go and hang this in place. And I will just bolt it down. We'll do the same with the rear bumper here, just pop that onto there. And last but not least, the two finishing touches here are these antennas. They do pop on somehow. Just gotta figure out exactly where. And I believe these are interchangeable as well, so doesn't matter which one goes where. Alright, so it goes round about over here. And yeah, as I said in the previous episode when we painted the car, there's going to be some clear coat issues maybe here and there. I still need to address, but yeah, you can see there's a little bit of clear coat missing over there. So it's not a big train smash or train wreck, as I always say, or well, I always say train smash. Right, let's grab a wrench. Right, we need to tighten these bumpers down. Alright, so this has got 2 bolts on each side. Alright, where's the other ones? Right over there and over there. Okay, and then we'll go to the front bumper. Alright, this has also got a single bolt there and also on this side. Come on, let's just figure out where it is. There it is, okay. Alright, well, I think that is our Chevy Bel Air as far as we are going to get with it today. I don't know if we should get some wheel spacers for the front wheels. But no, it actually looks kind of good the way that it is. So this car basically just needs its engine and gearbox, which we could actually do because we've got the old transmission and we've got the engine back now. So I think let's maybe go ahead and pop this in. Alright, I actually think the engine needs to go in first because the engine is kind of going to hold the transmission back into place. And we can also get all of this, you know, nitty gritty stuff bolted back down. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, yeah, I forgot. This one you need to bolt it down from the engine bay. Yeah, it's bolts on this side, okay. Alright, and we've got a tiny bolt over there for the brake line, the main brake line. We've got our battery cables. Just get those in. That can be secured over there. And then we'll use this battery, which I think this is a battery that came with the Lada donor car that Phantom sent us way back in the day, guys. I can't really recall, but yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff laying all over our shop by now. Alright, so let's go and get the engine. And we should be able to get this thing into the engine bay and see if we can bolt it down. Alright, and this is also going to need some oil, so I'm going to have to fill up the oil in this engine. Alright, let's just see if we can get it into the engine bay here. Just like that. And now, zip it down. Come on, there we go. Alright, and then I think we can do the alternator bolt over there. There's a ground cable back here. Alright, very similar to the other V8s. But yeah, completely different. If you know what I mean. And I think we are missing the starter on this one. Okay, so it looks like we didn't get the starter, but that's fine. We don't really have to fire this thing up today. Alright, transmission, we should be able to get it in from under there. Alright, and zip this down. There should be another bolt up here somewhere. There it is, behind the ignition coil. And this side also 3 bolts to tighten that up with. Alright, looking good. So I think everything is kind of bolted down now. We I don't know if we've got radiator hoses. Might have to see if that's something that we are going to need. But yeah, I think for now this thing is as far as we're going to get with it now, guys, for real. Yeah, no, I did say that earlier on, but okay. So now my plan is I need to try and see if we can push this car out of the paint booth, because it's not going to be running. So we're going to have to just see if I can put it somewhere. So let me try and figure this out, guys, and I'll bring you back once I've decided where I'm going to put this car. Because I still need to do interior and everything on this car and sort out the rest of the little nitty gritty stuff that it needs. So let's see where we're going to put this thing. Alrighty, guys, so I think that'll have to do. So this car is pretty much where we put it when we got it first in the first place, you know. So I think it's fine over here. It's got all of its windows and glass in it now, so yeah, even if it starts raining, it should be fine. So yeah, I just noticed we've got quite a few spots of clear coat missing on this thing, so it's definitely gonna need a little bit of touch-ups here and there. But in general, I think we didn't do too bad so far on this car, guys. It looks pretty nifty, and I think the wheels just kind of makes it, you know, look a whole lot different to other cars that we've got in the shop. So yeah, that is our 1958 Chevy Bel Air getting there, guys. It's definitely not a rush project or anything like that. We're gonna take it nice and easy with that one. Alright, so now I want to see if I can tackle these parts. So these need to be sandblasted, and we also need to remove some of the trim over here, and then we're going to see if we can put some primer on everything and clean everything up. So just going to bring everything over to the paint booth and just get it, you know, cleaned up and also de-rusted. Alright, so there's the two fenders, which are the only rusty bits. I think the rest of the parts here, they seem to be clean. Well, not clean, but, you know, rust-free at least. So we are going to be able to at least rinse these down and then give it a lick of primer. And then I've also already got the paint for the car, which is this color over here, 311-005. So that is the color code that this car is, in case anybody was wondering. So that is what we're going to stick with. These have got windows and everything on them, door mirrors, so that's all going to come off for us in order to paint it now. And let's just go and grab the last door real quick over here. Yep, and there we go. Right, also door card and everything, window lifter, glass, everything is in there. Alright, let's see what we can do with our wrench. We need to take off the door panel, or the door card as they call it. Alright, here's the one door card. It's not terrible. I think the red interior would actually look pretty nice on this car. But we'll still decide what we want to do in terms of interior for this thing, guys. We might do black, because I think black would actually look pretty nifty with the, you know, the maroon color that the car is in. So I think we'll see what we can figure out. Alright, might as well go ahead and take this window lifter out. Yep, there it is. Window lifter is actually broken, but the glass seems to be good. So we can just go ahead and maybe get a new window lifter, and then that'll be sorted. Alright, there's the other small window. Let's just put it on top of there. Okay, so we know where it is. And we still need to take the door mirror off. Alright, but let's just do all of the work we can with the wrench first of all. And this window lifter is also broken. Alright, gotta shake it off. Alright, so there's the other window lifter, also a little bit busted. Okay, we can also take this back inside. Okay, let's just put it back here. Alright, this one, we still need to remove this glass. Alright, that's the other window. Small window for the front left, I think. Yeah, that's the front left door. Right, so we've got door mirror on that one, some trim on there that needs to come off. We're going to need our pry tool and screwdriver for that. So let's just bring the toolbox. Yeah, let's just grab the whole thing. I mean, come on, it's on wheels, so we can just push this thing wherever we want it. Okay, let's start with the pry tool. Yep, there we go. That's the first piece of trim. Now, surprisingly, the trim isn't that bad. but we'll probably have to order a whole bunch of trim and stuff for the car still. This one is a bit beat up, so yeah, not really too big of a problem. Okay, and now we can get this door mirror off of this. Just got to make sure we get it off properly. There we go. This one is actually a bit busted, so new door mirrors it'll be. Alright, on this one, just shake it off. There we go. Alright, this one is also not the greatest, so yeah, 2 new door mirrors and maybe even some brand new trim all round, some window lifters, and then this will be sorted. Alright, let's put our wrench down over there, or screwdriver. Pressure washer or just hose? I think just hose will be fine. Oh, would you look at that? This is actually almost like a purple fender. I think most of the parts came off the same car, except for that one fender, which is off a different car, because it's a different color. Alright, just gotta rinse off all of the dust and crap off of these things, and then we can go ahead and see if we can sandblast the rust off of the 2 fenders. And then we've got some primer ready to go in our spray gun already. Alrighty, but here we go. That is the 2 fenders as clean as we are going to get them, probably. Yeah, that is it's always a bit tricky there. I don't know if we blast it with the pressure washer, if it's going to make any difference. I highly doubt it, but let's try. Yeah, it ain't coming off. Alright, well, you know what? It's not a big train wreck or train smash, or you know what I mean. So that'll still work. Okay, and now we've got to sandblast the living crap out of these. Okay, so let's bring it a little bit closer. Alright, let's put it there. Okay, let's see how this works. Yeah, I think it's actually doing pretty well. Might as well sandblast the whole thing. Yeah, it's got kind of rust on every single, you know, angle of this thing. There we go. Let's just get blasted over there a little bit. Alright, and we'll tackle the next one. Nice and easy sorting this out. Alright. Definitely taking care of all the rust. We just need another bag of sand, which we are kind of running low on, you know, sandblaster sand. But I think we've got enough to finish this up with at least. Alright, so there we go. Let's just get under here again. Yeah, guys, I think that is good enough. This thing is now... It appears to be rust free. Can we just check there? There's no rust under there at least, so... That's good. Yeah, I think we are good. That is looking pretty good. So let's get the little spray gun over here again. It's already got some primer inside. Let's just give it a little bit of a test run here. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, we don't have enough barrels for everything, so we're just going to paint everything here on the floor. And that way it will be sorted. So the next job that we're going to be tackling now would probably be the engine. So I was thinking now the engine that Holger, Charger, our buddy, built for us. I'm going to strip it down again because I'm going to do a little bit something special and custom on this engine for Phantom. We're going to see if we can get him a little bit of, you know, a matching color engine in his engine bay. And first of all, we're going to also do a little bit of upgrades to the engine for him. Make it a little bit more powerful. Alright, there we go. I think that is good. Let's just get in there. Okay. Yeah, I think that is not too bad. Alright, let's carry on. We've got the doors and the hood to do still. Just going to give it a nice layer of primer. And that way we've got plenty of good surfaces to paint all of the paint, you know, the final color of the car on. Might be able to do this a bit later on, we'll see. I am going to flip those doors around and just see if we've got any mist spots on it that we didn't spray now. I also need to check the fenders again because I think that one edge might be, or those two edges on the fenders might be a little bit hard to reach with the spray gun, but we're just going to check it real quick. Let's go under here. Yeah, see what I mean? There's a little bit of imperfections there with the primer, so let's go ahead and sort that out. Just like that. I think that is good enough. And let's just see the door on the other side here. It looks as if it's still a little bit dusty. I don't know. We'll just check it real quick. Maybe it's just some of the old clear coat that's still shining there. You know, giving us that illusion of it being dirty. I don't know. It might be dirty. But it's on the inside of the door, so it's not really a big train smash. And there I go, using it again. Okay, well. Alright, well. Yeah, this one is almost the same. It looks like there's also some dust or something on this thing still. But yeah, I think for the purpose of getting these parts painted, that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, well, I think that is good enough. This thing is primed up and we're just going to let it sit for a while, guys. And then we'll see if we can keep ourselves busy with something else. I don't know exactly what I want to do next, because we've got the Lexus and we've got the Coronet, and I don't think there's anything else we can really do to the Chad over here. I mean, these parts are just going to have to sit and cure a little bit. It is quick drying primer, so it shouldn't take too long. So we might get back to this a little bit later on today. Alright, so I think let's maybe assemble the wheels for the Lexus. Get those maybe fitted on the car. And then we can see if there's a clear indication of what is really bad on the suspension. Alright, let's just gather all our tools again. Put that back into there. Let's grab our wrench as well. Alright, yeah, we can probably just put it in a toolbox for now. Alright, so let's get our wheels and tires mounted. Alright, should be quite simple. There we go. Alright, that's the first one done. And we're just going to stand it upright. And we can adjust the pressure down to 2.0 bar on the air compressor here. Yeah, that is good enough. Okay, and then there's our valve stem. Let's go ahead and air these up. Okay, so that is the first one done. Alright, so there's our first wheel, and yeah, we've got some pretty bad mangled wheels on that car. I still wonder what happened to it. Because the poor thing is, it's almost damaged on all of the angles. Alright, there's our second wheel. Let's just stand it upright again. Because these valve stems are at the back. Which is a little bit uneconomical for airing up the tires when they are mounted to the car. But, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Alright, so there's the second wheel ready to rock and roll. Let's grab the next one. And a brand new tire. And we'll also just try and stand it upright again. Okay, there's the valve stem over this side. Alright, that is 2 bar, so I think we are good. Alright, let's go and grab the last one. Pop that onto there. Get our tire mounted. I don't know what it's going to look like if we, well, what was I actually wanting to say now? I don't know what it's going to look like if we mount the wheels on the car now, because, yeah, the suspension is a little bit all messed up. But I think we might get a decent idea, because the whole body is still mangled and stuff, but it might give us a better idea of what these wheels will look like on the car in the end. That is kind of what I was getting at. Okay, so let's lower this thing down a tiny bit. Alright, let's see. If we take these off. Yeah, that is very badly mangled. There's almost nothing left of that. Okay, let's get our new wheel mounted. And yeah, it's going to be hard to tell now because bodywork is banged in on this corner. Yeah, we should maybe have started with bodywork on this car first so that we can actually see what we are working towards with the suspension, Alright, well, since we are busy with this now, we might as well do it. Yeah, that wheel is also completely destroyed. But I think those are actually going to look pretty nifty. It's going to catch the headlight. Okay, that's a little bit of a bummer. They are definitely a little bit bigger than the wheels or the original wheels on the car. Okay, that is a bit banged up as well. There we go. Alright, and we'll just zip it down as well on this side. Yeah, you can clearly see these wheels are a little bit bigger. Okay, let's get the last one off. Alright, this one is also bad. You can see it's bent to hell there. Okay, right over there, it's looking quite bad. So yeah, none of the wheels on the car were usable at all, so that's why we just had to go and buy a brand new set. I think this side will give us a better idea of what it'll look on the car, because it's not as badly mangled. So yeah, I actually think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's do this, guys. I think now, before we tackle suspension, let's go ahead and have a look at some of the bodywork here. Because I think this door over here might be a little too far gone. We're going to have to probably replace it. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's get this car away from the lift. Somewhat over there should be good. Okay, now we're going to need some more tools. So let's go ahead and grab this. I can just put this on top of here. All right, let's move our toolbox closer because I want to see what we can fix up with our hammer. Maybe some of the parts we just need to put some bonder on it, and some of the parts are going to have to be replaced probably. Looking for the hammer. That's in the second drawer. Okay. All right, let's just beat on this quarter panel a little bit. Alright, looks like the door is going to come back to life. It's just going to be a little bit tricky. Alright, the trunk. Yeah, we might be able to whack it into shape a little bit better. And there's also a little bit of damage on this quarter panel. Doesn't seem to be too bad. The bumper can also just knock the bumper back. And one would think it's actually plastic, but you can still beat it with a hammer. Alright, that looks good. So the roof sustained no damage, miraculously. That door's missing a piece of trim there by the looks of it. Okay, no more damage there. I think this is probably way too far gone. The firewall might have some dents we can fix up by the looks of it. Okay, let's see if we can do anything about this. And also the floor. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely investigate this thing properly. Figure out where exactly all of the damage is, and what it's going to take to get it fixed up. Alright, well, yeah, I actually got a little bit sidetracked now, guys. This is not really something that's a priority here. But, yeah, it's a good thing to know now. At least we know what is going on with the old Lexus here. It's going to be fixable. It's going to obviously need a whole lot of work and almost a brand new front end. So we're going to have to try and see if we can maybe source something that's going to replace all of the bad parts here. The headlights might... Yeah, I don't know. The headlights look like they are also bad. It may have sustained a little bit of damage, but yeah, in general, I'm thinking this car would definitely come back to life eventually. And I think those wheels actually look pretty good now that we can more or less see what it's going to look like on this side at least. Maybe even on this side now that we managed to get this quarter panel, you know, pulled out a little bit, or banged out a little bit with the hammer. So I think this thing is going to be definitely salvageable. It's going to look pretty good once it's done. And so yeah, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go and check out that engine, as I mentioned, for the Chad. Let's see if we can get it stripped down and what it's going to look like once we get all of the parts out of it. We can also just kind of inspect the Charger's hard work, you know, see how good of a job he did with these. I'm just kidding. I know this guy. He actually built engines for me in the past, and he actually always does epic work. Oh, would you look at that? We've got some chromed headers on this one, which is not something I expected. But okay. It looks a little bit flashy already. So that might actually steer me into the direction of, you know, what we are going to do with this engine. Maybe we can do that maroon and some chrome. I don't know. It's going to be, yeah, just one of those things that we can decide what we want to do. But yeah, this chrome actually looks pretty nifty on the header. So we might go with that maroon and chrome and maybe a combination of black, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, these look like just stock headers. They have been chromed up. I wonder if this is regular chrome, or do you guys think it's a bluish chrome? I don't know. It looks pretty good, actually, if you ask me. Alright, so now I'm going to be doing some HP parts in this engine. Come on, can we get the old air filter off? Might actually replace the cylinder heads with performance cylinder heads as well. Oh, the air filter is in good nick, but you know what I would do? I would say all of the parts that I'm taking off this engine, I could send it back to him so that he can actually maybe use it on rebuilding the other engines for us. That might be an idea. So I'm going to, yeah, probably load everything in the truck. You know what? I should actually bring the truck here, and we can just chuck the stuff straight into the truck. But you know what? I'll probably do that off camera. It's going to be something I can do later on. I don't have to make you guys watch me move the old truck around into the shop, so I think that's fine. We're going to just strip everything that I'm going to be changing on this engine. Actually, technically, I'm stripping everything off because we are going to be doing a whole lot of, you know, new parts on this engine. I think the only thing that's going to really stay is the, you know, all of the timing parts and such, filters and such. Alternator will stay. That's a second-hand oil filter, but it's still very good. It's barely been used. Alternator belt, still brand new. So yes, he definitely did quite a good job in putting these engines together. It's a brand new engine fan. Water pump can also come off. I wonder if you put oil in these. Let's just check that. Oh, come on. Can we just get our dipstick out? There we go. Okay, so the engine is empty. There's no oil in it. And I just dropped the dipstick on the freaking floor. And now I did it again. Okay. Let's just get it into there. Okay. Moving along swiftly. Alright, so let's go ahead and take off the alternator. If we can just loosen the bolt instead of trying to tighten it up. You know, it's a... yeah, everything's gonna just freaking fall off this engine by the looks of it. But okay, there's a brand new alternator. Looking good. And water pump. There should be 5 bolts on this. Alright, the first part we managed to take off without problems. Okay, there's a... yeah, that's a second-hand water pump, or it might even be the water pump that was on one of the engines. I've got no idea, to be honest. It doesn't really matter as long as the parts are in decent condition, like these. They are... some of them are brand spanking new, guys, so... okay, harmonic balancer, still brand new. Yeah, it's almost a shame taking this engine apart, because we put so much work into building these for us, but, you know, customization is a thing. Alright, there's our fuel pump, and I couldn't really tell him beforehand what I would like to have done to the engines, because I had no clue in what car I was going to put them in, but this goes to show that we basically have got a blank canvas to work with now in order to make it look like something that we would want to put in the car. There's a timing chain. Timing chain is good. Well, who am I kidding? Everything is going to be good in this car, or in this engine, you know, because it was just refurbished for us. Okay, there's our pry tool here in the toolbox. Let's pop out this camshaft, because we are going to be putting in a performance camshaft, and that just went a little bit haywire, but okay, got it. I forgot, we've got to pry off the crankshaft pulley here as well. Well, sprocket, not pulley, but okay, you know what I mean. I think you understand by now what I'm talking about when I say something. But I mean the other thing, guys, it's kind of a no-brainer. Know the names of the parts, but you sometimes get a little bit tongue-tied and just mispronounce it. There goes the ignition coil, or the spark maker. Yeah, can give it some weird names, I guess. Plug leads, spark wires, bogey cords. Well, bogey cords is actually a brand, but yeah, I'm just, you know, thinking outside the box now, kind of. All right, so there's our distributor, also good. Spark wires are also brand new. Cylinder heads needs to come off, because we are going to be doing the performance cylinder heads probably on this engine for him. And also getting the new valve covers. Not going to take the rockers out. The rockers can stay in here along with the spark plugs, because we don't need to take the spark plugs out. And head gaskets are probably going to be reusable, hopefully. We'll see. Alrighty. Once that is loose, we can take this head off. Okay, so there's the left cylinder head. There's the head gasket. As I said, it's brand new. Alrighty, and now we're just going to do the same on the other side of the engine, guys. It's a lot of repeat, you know, rinse and repeat here, but it's fine. These valve covers are, you know what I could actually do? I can put it back on, because just with one bolt, so that it all stays together. Okay, so we'll take this cylinder head off as well. Yeah, these things have got a crap ton of bolts. There we go. Alright, and this cylinder head is also brand new. Head gasket. That's a second-hand head gasket, but it's fine. It's still in decent shape. Alright, and then we're going to take this off, our intake. Which, once again, I could actually assemble this. You know, put the old carburetor back on, and air filter and all of that, but that's stuff I can sort out later on. Alright, this side. Okay, now this last one is going to be a bit of a pain, but okay, we've got it. Okay, so there's our pressure plate, which Yeah, the only reason I'm taking this off is because we are going to be changing the crankshaft to a HP or high performance crankshaft. So that just has to come off at this stage. Everything is still brand new over here. New clutch plate, new pressure plate, new flywheel. Alright, so I think that's everything that can come off of the engine for now. We're just going to spin it this way, get this oil pan off. Alrighty, and this side. Alright, there's the oil pan. It's a brand new oil pan, and this can also just go onto this one with one bolt. Okay, so now let's undo the pistons, and they are going to obviously have to come out because we are getting some new pistons. Now, you know what, I wonder if I can do this. I think it's going to make it a little bit quicker for us to do it this way. Just yank the whole crankshaft out with all of the pistons. Yeah. I know it's not always the best idea to do it like this, but I mean, there we go. And whoa, would you look at that? Okay, got a little bit of mismatched pistons here by the looks of it. So 1, 2, 3 of these are performance pistons, which I think actually I sent these probably with the engine. Yeah, I think this is something that I did actually, guys. Yeah, we can't say Holger did it because, yeah, those pistons are still good. So I'll see. We've got another crankshaft in there as well. And there's some more pistons on this. Okay, so maybe he's going to be able to reutilize this. So, yeah, he's going to definitely maybe fix it all up for us. So we'll send all of those parts with, and then just see if he can fix up the other 2 engines that we've got there in front of the 69 Coronet. But okay, now this engine can come off of here, this engine block, because this is going to be sent in for some color coding. And yeah, gonna decide what color we're gonna make everything else on the engine. As I said, we're gonna go with the chrome, the black, and the maroon, and definitely see if we can make a nice nifty looking engine. And all of the parts that I'm not gonna be using is gonna be shipped over with the engines over to Holger. Yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot of stuff that we reuse here. And then we've got yeah, the old wheels and tires here, which, yeah, I'm not too sure, guys, if these wheels really suit the Chad. Let me know what you think of these wheels. It's probably going to look a little bit better if we can get the body panels fitted and get a better idea if they actually do fit. So I don't know. Let's maybe go ahead and do this. Yeah, everything is dry to the touch. Alright, so we can get the paint out of here. Where did the paint go now? Oh, I really took it out. Okay. Anyhow, let's come on, get this paint into there. Alright, so we are going to spray paint the base coat onto this, and then a little bit later today, when everything has cured up a bit, I will go ahead and spray the clear coat on it, and that way we're just going to be able to mount the panels in the next episode only. So yeah, I think this is it's going to work out. Alright, yeah, this paint really looks a little bit dull without the, clear coat on it. See, we missed a little bit of dust on this door. Okay. There we go. So that is all painted up now. And let's do the fenders. And once again, I bought way too much paint, but as I always say, they are inexpensive and it's not really a big problem. And this paint has also got a little bit of a brown tint to it. But I think it's the clear coat that actually makes it pop and makes it look like that maroon that we've got on the car. Yeah, it's definitely it. Because this is definitely the correct color code. We all know little Lewis by now. He's always a magician when it comes to paint matching. Alright, so there's the other side of the door. We still need to paint here. Yeah, this thing is a bit filthy still. So I'm gonna probably wash this again. Just as long as we can get the, coverage sorted with the paint. We'll get everything cleaned up properly. Yeah, that is it, guys. I think everything is painted. Wait a second, I just saw something here, which probably just a reflection. Although matte stuff doesn't really have a reflection. But yeah. It's just the way that the shadow falls on it. Okay. Alright, well, now that that is sorted, we are going to remove the paint because we are done with it. And then, now we're just going to have to do the clear coat once this is cured a little bit. I think that's my half can. Yeah, we can just pop that into the spray gun for next time. Alright. You know, this thing is so freaking finicky to get the cans in. But okay, we've got it. So that is ready for the clear coat. And even putting the lid on is sometimes a bit of a mission. So yeah, guys, let's do a little bit of a quick recap of everything that we sorted out today. So yeah, the body panels from the junkyard have been painted. I think they're just gonna have to sit here and cure until we've got it nice and dry. And then we are going to be painting the clear coat, and it's going to look the same as the car. Hopefully. It might actually be. So yeah, we're going to sort that out. The Lexus IS300, we did a tiny bit of work to this thing. The wheels are changed. The bodywork is a little bit more straight than it was before. So I think it's a step in the right direction. And we are going to definitely have quite a little bit more work to do to this thing. Let's just check on this side for reference. Yeah, you see that door frame, the upper part, the window trim, I think that's probably what it's called, is missing on this door. So we're going to have to see if we can source that. So this car is going to be fixed up gradually as we get time to do so. We don't have a hose close by. So yeah, I don't think the other hoses are going to reach because I wanted to rinse this thing off a bit. So yeah, also we're not going to be cleaning this car. We're going to leave it dirty because that's kind of what the whole theme is going to be for this car. Is beat up, rusty, but underneath all of that, it's going to have a decent engine as well. Might do a little bit something special on this one. Maybe a performance 6-pack carburetor. I don't know. I'll decide what I want to do with this one. But it's definitely going to have to be a rat rod, because that is the part of the deal with Aussie, is to make this thing look kind of rat-ish, like a kind of beat-up car, which is gonna perform like a demon. Okay, so can probably also just get this fender mounted. There we go. All right. Okay, I don't think there's any more bolts on this fender. Probably not. This bumper looks a little bit out of whack, but that's also part of what the car is going to be. It's not going to be perfect visually. It might not even get the grille. It's definitely going to need a radiator and a couple of mechanical parts to make it work as a car. But I think it's actually going to look pretty nifty. Even with those headlights looking the one way. If you know what I mean. It looks like its eyes looking that way. So it's going to be a very interesting car once we are done with it, guys. We might have to get the taillight panel. Definitely have to get the taillight panel. And 1958 Bel Air also looks pretty good, guys. I think we did pretty well on this car. Managed to get this thing looking a whole lot better. So this was the car that TC gave us as payment for the work we did to his Lada coupe for him. This is pretty much still a bare shell on the inside, so we're going to have to source some interior for this and get that all sorted out. Yeah, I haven't showed you guys the Camaro lately. So I think it's a 1982 Camaro, 3rd gen. still running and driving pretty well. I use this car on a daily basis when I'm going to Uncle Bill's house at night to go and sleep. And lately we've been so busy here at the shop that I spend most of my time here, really. I don't really, sleep that much at home. Sometimes I just crash on the couch over there. So it's got a bit of a busy, shop now these days, guys. So we've been keeping quite busy. But all right, I think on that note, it's probably time for me to end the episode. It's been going on long enough, looking at the time of recording now. So guys, I think it's going to be a wrap. So thanks so much for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I will appreciate it very much. And then I will see you all in the next one. So cheerio for now.